Hello. In the natural world, there are always fascinating things hidden, but sometimes beauty is a deadly trap. Today, I will introduce you to things that if you accidentally see them, keep your distance and absolutely do not touch them. The deceptive plush toy, platypus. The platypus, with its characteristic flat beak, smooth furry body, and a tail like a beaver. This rare creature from Australia looks as gentle and innocent as a plush toy. However, deceptive appearance is the most accurate phrase to describe them. Absolutely never try to catch or pick up a platypus, even if they look like they need help. The truth is, male platypuses possess a secret weapon, which are sharp spurs located on their hind legs, originally connected to venom glands. If you accidentally touch them and get stabbed, this venom will immediately attack your body, causing terrible and intense pain to the point that normal painkillers can hardly control it. That painful sensation can even last continuously for many days. It is true that in nature, the more gentle and peculiar something looks, the more thorny it is, right? The deceitful silence, inverted shark. If the platypus's spurs teach us a lesson about being wary of adorable appearances, then the next thing will be a lesson about the deceitful silence of the ocean, the inverted shark. Imagine you are scuba diving and come across a shark floating sluggishly, but strangely, it is lying with its belly facing the sky. Seeing this sight, surely many people would immediately think, oh, this shark is dead, or at least that it is severely injured and completely harmless. But the reality is completely the opposite. The truth is, the shark is falling into a special biological state called hypnosis, or tonic immobility. When turned on its belly, the shark's nervous system is temporarily locked, causing its body to fall into a state of paralysis and remain motionless as if in a deep sleep. However, I must warn you, absolutely do not get close to touch it out of curiosity. This hypnotic state can end in just a blink of an eye. Once provoked or suddenly awakened, the shark will immediately regain its killer instinct and attack you with lightning speed. Touching a shark lying on its belly is no different from you pressing the start button for a deadly attack where you yourself are the target. So, if you see a shark sunbathing like this, it is best to keep your distance. The fragile moment, molting spider. From the dangerous, motionless state of the ocean assassin, we come to another freeze frame that is equally easy to misunderstand, but this time, right in your own home or garden, a molting spider. If you accidentally come across a spider lying quietly, not budging, and its body looks like it is cracking or splitting in half, you will surely think that it has passed away or met with some terrible accident. Many people even want to use a stick or their hands to touch it to see if it is still alive. But stop your hands right away. In fact, you are witnessing one of the most magical yet most fragile moments of the insect world, the molting process. Because the hard outer shell does not grow with the body, the spider is forced to shed its cramped old coat to grow in size. This is the time when the spider is at its weakest. The new skin inside at this moment is extremely soft and sensitive. Just a light touch from you can tear this fragile protective layer, causing permanent injury. More dangerously, being disturbed while in labor will cause the spider extreme stress, leading to its possible immediate death. So, if you see a spider splitting itself in half like that, please respect its privacy and let it quietly complete the molting process. The living bomb, huntsman spider nest. Whether you feel sympathy for the molting spider just now or not, the following scene will certainly test your courage to the maximum limit. That is, the huntsman spider nest. Imagine you walk into a storage room and see a dull gray, bumpy mass of an object on the wall with long, bristly legs clinging tightly to the corner. At a glance, it looks no different from an alien creature or a bizarre patch of mold growing larger. However, I must sincerely advise you, absolutely never use your hands to touch or intentionally poke at that gray mass. The truth behind that bizarre appearance is a large family of huntsman spiders, also known as giant hunter spiders. The bumpy mass you see is actually a mother spider using her large body to wrap and protect hundreds, even thousands, of tiny baby spiders underneath. The danger does not lie in the venom, as this spider species is quite timid and non-lethal. The terrifying part lies in the chain reaction. If you startle the mother spider, this spider bomb will immediately explode. Hundreds of baby spiders will scatter at lightning speed, crawling onto your arms, your neck, and covering your body in a flash. The feeling of hundreds of tiny pairs of legs crawling on your skin, along with tiny bites causing prolonged swelling, will certainly be a nightmare you never want to experience. It is best to just let their family conference take place in peace and quietly retreat. The grumpy balloon, black rain frog. If hundreds of baby spiders crawling around in the previous section gave you goosebumps, then the next creature will surely make you exclaim because of its cuteness. But do not let that appearance deceive you. The black rain frog. Look at it. Doesn't it look like a black tennis ball dropped into the mud or a withered avocado throwing a tantrum? This is the black rain frog, an animal famous for having the grumpiest face on the planet. With a plump, round body and eyes that always seem to be glaring at the whole world, they frequently become the center of funny videos on social media. However, even though they look like they really need to be comforted or cuddled, I advise you absolutely not to touch them. The truth is, this frog species is extremely sensitive and very prone to psychological trauma. The danger here is not to you, but to this tiny creature itself. When feeling threatened or touched by a strange object, the black rain frog will fall into a state of extreme stress. To defend themselves, they will inflate their bodies like a balloon about to burst and emit ear-piercing squeaks, which many people mistakenly think is a cute scream. In fact, every time that happens, their health is severely degraded due to their hearts beating too fast and loss of energy. Disturbing them just to satisfy our curiosity is an act that harms them. Therefore, if you see this grumpy balloon on the road, just smile and greet it from a distance and let it continue its grumpy life in peace. The stealth assassin, Gaboon viper. Saying goodbye to the tiny frog that only knows how to puff up to scare people, we will move on to a true boss in the camouflage world. This is the one that if the black rain frog accidentally jumps on, it will certainly never have the chance to puff up a second time. The Gaboon viper. Look closely at the vegetation carpet under your feet in dense forests. What do you see? A rustling pile of dry leaves, or a decaying rotten log. Be careful. The boundary between a normal footstep and a tragedy is sometimes only a few centimeters apart, because that could be the Gaboon viper, nature's ultimate stealth assassin. The reason this snake is so terrifying is due to the geometric patterns on its skin that help it completely blend into its surroundings. But the truth is even more horrifying. The Gaboon viper possesses the longest fangs of all snake species in the world, with a length of up to 5 centimeters, powerful enough to pierce through any layer of clothing or shoes. The biggest danger is that because of its excellent stealth ability, humans often accidentally step on them. Once provoked, it will not scream like the rain frog, but will gift the intruder a deadly bite with an extremely large amount of venom. Their venom can cause immediate muscle paralysis and lead to death in a short time. So, my advice is when walking amidst a dry leaf forest, always wear protective boots and look very carefully at every footstep, because not every log lies still for you to step on. The ocean cradle, moon snail egg collar. Leaving the perilous forests with the Gaboon camouflage master, let's breathe in the salty air of the sea to come to the next thing, the moon snail egg collar. When strolling on the sandy beach during low tide, you might come across strange arc-shaped bands, looking transparent and pliable like pieces of jelly or silicone strips dropped by someone. With their shimmering appearance under the sunlight, many people, especially children, often feel extremely curious and want to pick them up to play with, or even squeeze them to see how soft they are. However, I must stop you right away. The truth is, this is neither jelly nor ocean trash. It is the great cradle of thousands of tiny lives, the egg nest of the moon snail. The mother snail has painstakingly mixed her eggs with sand and mucus to create these special arc-shaped bands. The danger here is not for you, but for the baby snails. These egg masses are extremely fragile and very easy to break. Just an improper touch or a mischievous act of picking them up, you will accidentally destroy the protective structure, annihilating all thousands of baby snails inside before they are even born. Therefore, to protect the life of the ocean, if you see these jelly pieces, just leave them lying still on the sand and wait for the tide to bring them back to the sea. The grumpy face, stargazer fish. Just now we learned how to cherish the fragile lives on the sand, but don't let that make you complacent about everything lying under your feet, because sometimes that gentle sandy beach is hiding a face that just seeing it is enough to make you freeze. The stargazer fish. Imagine you are taking a walk and suddenly stop short when you see a pair of bulging eyes and a wide open mouth full of jagged teeth staring at you from under the beach sand. Welcome to your encounter with the stargazer fish, dubbed the grumpiest creature in the ocean. The reason it has the romantic name stargazer is because its eyes are always pointing upwards to the sky. But make no mistake, it doesn't lie there to stargaze. The truth is, it is camouflaging extremely cleverly to ambush its prey. Any poor fish swimming by will be snapped up in just a blink of an eye. And this is the reason I tell you absolutely not to touch this face. The stargazer fish possesses an extremely terrifying defense system. It has venomous spines located right behind its head that can cause intense pain. But the most horrifying thing is that it also has the ability to discharge an electric current of up to 50 volts. Being both poisoned and electrocuted right under your feet is certainly not the beach strolling experience you desire. So, if you see any eyes peeking at you from under the sand, gently step far away. The green trap, giant hogweed. After luckily escaping the electric shock and venomous spines of the stargazer fish under the sand, you will surely want to leave the beach to find a lush green meadow or a flower forest to relax, right? But don't let your guard down just yet, because even a plant that looks tall, beautiful, and full of life can turn your vacation into a true nightmare: the giant hogweed. This plant can grow up to over 5 meters tall, towering like a green wall in nature, with pure white flower clusters spreading out in 4 directions, looking no different from giant umbrellas carefully placed by someone in the middle of a deserted field. But I must stop you right here. Absolutely never pick the flowers, break the branches, or even lightly touch this plant's stem. The truth is, hidden deep inside that gentle appearance is a sap containing extremely dangerous phototoxic chemicals. And the scariest thing is that it doesn't attack you immediately. When the sap gets on your skin, you won't feel pain, won't feel stinging, won't feel itching. Everything at that moment is completely normal, enough to make many people complacent and think that it's probably fine. But just step outside, just let the sunlight touch that skin area. The sunlight will awaken the toxins, causing the skin to start blistering fiercely, swelling into large patches. The feeling is no different from having boiling water splashed directly on you. The burn can leave deep scars, and if the sap accidentally gets into your eyes, the price to pay could be permanent blindness. So, if you see a giant flower umbrella, keep your hands in your pockets and just admire it with your eyes. The camouflage wizard, barren caterpillar. If you think the green color of plants only brings a sense of peace, then welcome to the world of the barren caterpillar, a place where just being careless for a split second, you won't even realize what you are facing. Look closely at this leaf. What do you see? Just normal leaf veins, lush green and nothing suspicious, right? But don't let your vision deceive you. That is the barren caterpillar, one of the most talented camouflage wizards in the insect world. With a flattened body structure, a wavy body exactly like the edge of a leaf, and a green color that perfectly matches the surrounding environment, it usually lies still along the main veins. Standing from a distance or even looking at a very close range, you will find it hard to distinguish what is the leaf and what is a living creature. But wait, don't rush to bring your hand close to check if you have sharp eyes. Look closely once more at its back. You will see a layer of tiny, dense spines, so thick there is almost no empty space. These spines are not just for intimidation, they are real defensive weapons. Just a light accidental touch, a series of venomous spines will pierce straight into the skin, causing a terrible burning pain, like being pricked by thousands of tiny needles at the same time. The pain doesn't disappear immediately, but usually lasts, accompanied by swelling, burning, and discomfort for many hours, even days later. The irony is that the victim often never sees the culprit, because by the time they realize the pain, that caterpillar is still lying still on the leaf, completely motionless, as if nothing had just happened. The red warning, black widow spider. If the barren caterpillar chooses perfect hiding to avoid being disturbed, the last creature on the list has a completely different warning. It doesn't hide, it shows you its danger right from the first glance. As an explicit warning, touch me and pay the price. It is the black widow spider, not needing the camouflage skills of the gaboon viper, nor hiding under the sand like the stargazer fish. The black widow spider proudly shows its presence, as if it knows it holds a power that needs to be respected. In the dark corners, the damp basements, or even the abandoned items passed down to another generation, you can easily recognize this female assassin thanks to her shiny black skin like ebony wood, smooth and cold to the point of looking almost artificial. But the most important feature, and also the thing that makes every survival instinct scream, is the bright red hourglass mark located right under its abdomen. In the natural world, red is never just for decoration. It is a powerful stop sign, and the truth behind that sign is even more terrifying than its appearance. The black widow spider possesses an extremely potent neurotoxin, so strong that if compared by the same mass, it is many times superior to the venom of a cobra. Although the amount of venom injected per bite is very small, it is more than enough to plunge the victim into hellish pain. It causes violent muscle spasms, breathing difficulties, nausea, and partial paralysis. Just one touch on that hourglass could make your time stop forever. The notable thing is that the black widow spider does not actively hunt humans. It only attacks when threatened, stepped on, or when someone accidentally reaches into the dark corners, rock crevices, or under wood where it usually hides. And that is also the lesson that nature always tries to teach us. The more brightly colored, the more strongly contrasting things in nature are, the less they are meant to be touched. Admire them from afar.
And those are the animals you shouldn't touch in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you don't miss the latest videos. And now, as always, goodbye.